Bang! NeevesKnives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Live on NeevesKnives. We have a full episode today. We got a bunch of topics to get through. Shout out to Dan. He got the TARDIS, the best tech TARDIS. Awesome knife, kind of looks like a train. It comes in a lot of colors, like he's even saying right there. It comes in a ton of color options. The thumb studs work really, really good on that. D2 steel. Michael Wallace says, I don't mind D2. I can sharpen it wicked sharp really fast. Yeah, so D2, the thing is that it's just finicky, you know. So, and I mean for heat treaters. So, like, and the reason why is so when it's being heat treated, it has a small window of where it's good, right? So if the temperature is under or over that specific point, it messes it up, right? And I don't know the exact thing, but I think it's like within like 50 degrees. I'm not 100% on that though. But anyways, I've heard it's a very small window. So with companies doing mass production where they're doing tons of knives at the same time, they can't control the temperature in that many blades accurately and perfectly. Just because they have a temperature gauge inside that oven, that doesn't mean every single corner is the exact same temperature, especially when you get to that tight of a temperature problem. There's other steels, you know, that a lot of steels won't matter. Like, you know, it's a bigger window, you know, for problems. So that's the problem with it. So that's why we'll see, you know, some D2 damn near with S30V edge retention, and then other ones with, you know, 154 CM or even down to like N690 edge retention. You know, that's probably about the worst you'll see usually, unless if it's like a totally shot heat treatment, then, you know, maybe like 8 CR, but that, you know, that's ridiculous. I've seen a lot of cut tests. I've done personal cut tests on it, and it usually cuts about, you know, on average, I'm saying on average, about what 14C does. Now, I've had some examples that blows 14C out of the water, tons of examples, but I've had more examples where 14C does equal or a little bit better. The Mordax is coming to Blade HQ on Monday morning. Thank you for reminding me, Fred. Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know how many they're gonna have, but that's great, man. I got one, so it's nice. I want to show that knife more. I just hate showing knives that you guys can't get. You know, I feel like it's kind of like rubbing it in your face, you know. And I remember before I even had a channels that would do that, and I'd be like, you know, like, what the fuck? You know, I can't even get this thing. And it's not even that I have to wait a year or something like that. It's that it is completely gone, like unobtainable. And speaking of unobtainable, I made a post on Instagram about this, but the Reate K2, something that's very unobtainable, right? What a beautiful, gorgeous knife. Look at that. It looks like a katana. It's got that beautiful Japanese dual ground blade, and the action is just insane. It's really, really good. Ergonomics, hand melting, like this is, you can just see it. I mean, it's slightly contoured, and then it's got these neutral ergos. So the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because so many people want to get this. They did a bunch of different examples of this. This wasn't the only pattern. So they had other versions, even like badass versions, like fat carbon fiber and all kinds of shit. But they're like so hard to get. You can't even find them. Even on the secondary market, they almost never come up. So why am I talking about it? Well, if you've wanted to get one, if you've really wanted to get one, you're shit out of luck. No, I'm just joking. You might want to check out the Wii Shadowfire. You know, it's been a minute, and I keep thinking about, like, man, why do I like this thing so much? And I figured it out when I had them both out. I was like, that's why. It reminds me of my K2. And it really, truly does. Like, if you just look at it, they're like the exact same size, same handle shape. This one's slightly contoured, so arguably this is a little bit more comfortable, but this is no slouch. This is damn comfortable. It's got that dual ground blade. The difference is the The Reate goes straight right here. This one clips down, which is actually even more useful, but very slicey, nice hollow grind. You might not be able to see it on camera, but it is a dual grind. Beautiful sharpening tool and plunge grind, even better than the Reate. Ooh, phenomenal flipping action. Good access to the, you can just see, man, this thing is stupid smooth, but comes in a bunch of different examples. You can find it at Blade HQ in my Blade HQ link. It's called the Wii Shadowfire. To me personally, so first off, I'm not like a huge Tanto fan. Not that I don't like Tantos, because I do. My favorite Tanto is an American Tanto. I like the sharp edges because I want the pointiest corner right here I can get. However, there's some examples that I get and I really truly like them, just because the cutting performance on this edge right here, because it's a straight edge, you get tons of leverage all the way out to there. So it's a long cutting surface. So for slicing, it works really, really good. With these neutral ergos, I can cut backwards. Like, just everything works really well with this. And in practice, in use, it's a great user, man. And this to me is like a premium tactical knife. That's what it reminds you of, like a tactical-ish knife. So it's got a nice stout tip if you did need to puncture something, but it's not too stout. It's very EDC friendly, very slicey, even in the thicker portion. So to me, this is, and Tanto's got that look, that badass look. So, but as far as in use, some Tantos are not the most useful, but some Tantos are really, really good. This happens to be one of them. If you like Tantos, man, this is the way to go. And I do like Tantos. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite blade shape, and in some cases, I'll see a Tanto and, like, say if they have a Tanto, a spear point, and a drop point, I won't go with the Tanto. But in some cases, when it's done like this with that dual grind, I'll take it. Yeah, we're gonna show that off here in just a minute. Talika, we got his XM-24 in, and it has a dual grind from BGM, which I don't think he normally does for people. Thank you, Todd. Yes, there's my Blade HQ link. So let's move this over here. But yeah, this is what I'm carrying right now. Freaking badass. I love this thing. Another one, I made a post so you guys knew that it was dropping, or it did drop. The Veritas is back in action, back in stock. This thing is dope, man. They did such a good job with this, man. Like, if KIZER's name wasn't on it, I would question, like, man, what company did this? It is really, really good. They knocked it out of the park. And if you look, it's got this pattern all over it that just looks really cool. Look at that. That's an insert right there that sounds darker for the reversible clip. You see how the lock bar cutout is on the inside, how it always should be, if you can. Even though, it's righty, well, I guess it has righty and lefty, but even though it's a right-handed lock bar, you can easily reverse flick it left-handed, even with my finger on the lock bar. Look at that. And the D10 ain't light. It's just, I don't know if it's because of the cutouts on the inside or what, but it just makes for a phenomenal reverse flick, right or left-handed. Beautiful sharpening tool, fantastic front flipping action. You can use it from all different angles. The jimping, yeah, no, it's good jimping. They don't go up and around, so I would, prefer it if the jimping went up and around, but it's still damn good. And you can just see these ergonomics, they're going to work really good. This is a winner, 100%. And the details, it's the little details. Like I said, like from the lock bar cutout to the way they did this window to the pattern, the lock bar access, like I said, the reverse flick in the left hand. All the little details are there to make just an absolute badass knife. So yeah, this is a good one. There was a reason why you couldn't get it. It's sold out quick, and now I think it's still in stock. Let me just check really quick, because I might be sitting here teasing you guys. But it was at KIZER's yeah, it's still there. So just use my KIZER link do I have one in the description? I don't know. I'll grab it really quick, but you can just use my KIZER link. It's usually in the description. I thought it was. I might not have an actual KIZER link in the description right now though. Anyways, you guys can find it in the video I posted earlier, I think. But anyways, let me get to the next thing. Been watching off again on again since you had a few hundred subscribers. You are very bad from a bank account. Keep the great work up. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate all the support, man. I appreciate the long history we have together. That's awesome, man. Yeah, and I know that like when with certain channels, you know, like that I've been following them for so long, and some of them, you know, they don't know who I am or anything. So maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know, but you know, you feel some type of way because you've been following them so long. You've watched them grow, you've watched them change, you've watched them evolve, and you know, it feels like you're on the journey with them in a way. And no, that's awesome, man. I'm definitely you know, I don't, how can I say this? I don't feel like I'm any different. You know what I mean? So Kaiser sent me an email saying that it was back in stock last week. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly when it got in stock. I had only seen it yesterday that it was in stock, so I posted on it. I was trying to keep up with it, and I had checked over and over and over and over. And it was never in stock, never in stock, never in stock. Then bam, I seen it. I was like, oh, Chris Jones. Been a member for 9 months. You don't say. Actually, I'm going to show something. I don't have it up yet, but here in a minute, I'm going to show something that Jones sent me. That's pretty damn cool. Thank you, Todd. So, also, I want to show you guys some new slips. So, there's somebody in the community. His name is John Powell, and he is starting to make slips for knives. I only have a couple right now, but I do have more on the way. And he does really good work. And like right now I got a black and pink one coming, I think, a black and purple one coming, so that I can get some to match the, you know, like my fat carbon fiber and stuff, because like say this one, see this one's brown and green because it's got the green fat carbon, but this would be cool if this was black and green, right? Maybe with like a lime green. And I like doing that, matching it to a specific knife, the colors of the knife. That's pretty cool. This one's a pink one and black, so it'd be cool to get a black and pink one for this or one of my other ones. But the slip is phenomenal. I love the slips. I think he does a really good job. It's him and his son. I don't have a link yet, so soon I will be talking about him a little bit more to show you guys. By the way, I made a video, and listen, I'm talking about I put in some fucking work, man. I've been working on this video for like, I don't know, 3-4 days. And like I've had to work on other videos at the same time, but like every chance I get, I work on this video, putting together. It's like 25 minutes long, and I know it's not going to be for everybody. I already know. So it's kind of retarded for me to work this hard on a video that's probably going to do shit. It's probably not going to do good at all. But the concept is, and you guys are going to laugh, is if you like these knives, then you'll like these fragrances. So like I basically went through a whole bunch of knife companies and said, if you like these knives, and I really truly thought of the type of person that buys these specific knives. And I thought of like, what is the perfect fragrance for that type of person? So hopefully you guys will see that tomorrow. Oh, and I'm sorry to say, yes, the 10th, the new KIZERs are out. Thank you, Michael. But I forgot to tell you guys, so I'm gonna say it now. Tomorrow, the badass knife we've been waiting for so long is not going to be dropping. That is the We knives. So we had a bunch of knives. We and Savivi had a bunch of knives that were supposed to drop tomorrow, and they're not going to drop until the 16th now. So I guess there was just problems with the dealers getting them in stock. And the problem is, man, is I had this tomorrow planned, you know, and I got, it's okay though. Just sucks because you waste days working on something. But I'm really excited about one of the knives that are dropping because I personally think it's knife of the year. When I went to Blade Show, I literally said this since then because everybody would ask me, what was the best thing you seen at Blade Show? What was the best thing you seen at Blade Show? You see so much, right? But as far as production knives go, as far as the production knives you can get that are not thousands of dollars and all this stuff, it was a specific knife from Wheat. And there was two knives actually. But then at the time, I said, this one's number one, this one's number two. Even though I liked the look of number two a little bit better, number one was just a better knife. And that knife is dropping now on the 16th. Yes, the Nefarious. I do have it here. And see, the thing is that when at Blade Show, remember those, even though they were probably just perfect examples of what we were going to get, they're prototypes. So you don't know if they're gonna mess with anything. So I could never sit there and like pound it in stone that this is going to be the best one when I tried two prototypes at the time. Yeah, this one was better and this one was second best, right? Both phenomenal. I recommend both of them, but the one was better. But now that I have the one, which was second place, it was hard for me to say that the other one's going to be number one because, like I said, prototypes, I could get them back in hand now. Now there's some little changes and it's a little different, but yeah, it's still the better one. It's still the better one. And it still is like I said, this whole time since Blade Show Atlanta, it's like been in my brain. Like, just like, I can't wait till this thing comes out. I can't wait till this thing comes out. Like, I was kind of upset when I was there and I was like, when is this coming out? And they were like November or some shit, you know, because they didn't know at the time. It's like, fuck, because it's so long away. Starting to get cold up there. No, it's pretty warm today. I mean, it starts, we go back and forth. We get waves. So fall's hit, you know, like we're in fall. But it was like, I don't know, 70 today, 72 or something. Yesterday it was damn near 80. But it's been on average about 65 to 75, something like that. But it'll start dropping down really quickly. Yes, the Nexusia. I wish I could just show it to you guys right now. Also, I don't think I'm allowed to tell you guys, so I'm not going to tell you who it is. But there's a company we talked about a couple lives ago. And whoever remembers it was there will know what I'm talking about. We brought up a company and said they hadn't dropped anything in a long time. What is going on with this company? Is this company falling off? Well, that company contacted me and they do have something coming very, very soon. So I'm not sure the dates, but I supposedly have one coming. So I can't show you guys or anything when it does get here, but when it drops, you know, obviously I'll post on it. But the point is though, is that something's coming that's badass and it's a USA made company. I can't wait to get mine. I already ordered mine from Blade HQ. Richard, you are gonna freaking love it. I don't know which model you got, but it don't fucking matter. It's that good. It is. The thing is with that knife, the flipper tab is put in a position that gives you the maximum amount. It's as high as you could put a flipper tab. So relative to the pivot, you have maximum leverage to fire that thing off. So when you break the detent, you just like, it doesn't matter how strong the detent is. It could have no detent and you'd be able to flip it. So now you add a detent, think about the action. And then the reverse flicking hole lands in a perfect place. And that was one reason why it did beat the other knife, was because the reverse flick was just so much more satisfying. Oh, Jared, MTech apparently has an evolution line, which are supposed to be better quality. I'm sure they do. I could show the Nexusia. I got one based on your recommendations. I'm liking it so far. Very thin and slicey. Hold on a second. Are you talking about oh no, so I'm thinking about the Nefarious. Okay, so the Nexusia and the Nefarious. Yes, the Nexusia is badass. The Nefarious is the one I'm talking about right now. But yes, I would say the Nexusia is number 2, the Nefarious is number 1. But yeah, man, pre-order that shit because and use my link. Use my damn link. Anytime you guys make a knife purchase, use my damn links. It blesses the channel massively. I can't tell you guys that enough. Like it is like one of our number one. It's the number one way you guys can support. Nafsale 5 bones. Thank you, brother. Cheers, Neeves gang. American Blade Works Model 1 and 2 available on Nafsale right now. Definitely go and check that out, guys. If you guys don't know about Nafsale is a company where you can go and you can buy and sell knives. So they have knives that you can obviously buy, but they also are a place where you can confidently sell your knives. So they take a very, very tiny percent, and it makes it to where the buyer and the seller are both protected. So it just makes it so easy for anybody that's in the knife community, because we accumulate so many knives, and you're eventually gonna sell knives. If you're in here long enough, you're gonna sell knives. So it gives you a place to sell your knives, restock on knives, and get badass knives that in many cases are like new in box for a deal. So in some cases, the knives are literally like new in box because people just open them and flip them and, you know, just enjoy them. They're not really using them because maybe they know they're going to sell them in the future. A lot of people do that because you have so many knives, right? So some knives you're just not using, and then it gets resold and you get to save some money on it, even though it's, you know, basically brand new. So definitely go and check them out. Nafsale.com. My Nexusia is supposed to be here this week. 1 of 100 in Damasteel. Can't wait. I could crush a diamond right now. Yeah, dude, the Nexusia is badass. The Neferis is badass. They're both badass. You know, personally, I love the Nexusia, the way it looks, even more than the Neferis, but just the Neferis, man, as a knife, it is a little bit better. And that little bit, when you get to that high of a level already, you know, it kind of goes a long way. Original Goat has listened to my idea. The linerless tie scales for the 8015 are coming out with the Skiff multi-row ceramic bearings. Hell yeah, that's dope. I did not know that. What's up, Tom? Okay, so I want to show you guys this knife. Where is it? Oh, so this is Talica's knife, and it is the Hinderer XM-24. You're actually going to see it in a video tomorrow. He likes washers, so he puts, because it's the tri-way pivot, so he puts the washers on there. Phenomenal action, like phenomenal action for washers. Like you would think this thing was on bearings. Their bearings ones are like false shut action, but it is very, very smooth. Anyways, the point of me showing this is the regrind. He got a dual grind put on the XM-24, which is just absolutely badass. So this is the first time I'm seeing a dual grind from BGM Knives. So BGM Knives and Tools, the one who reground this. That's the same guy who reground my Spartan Harsey folder. So he's a great grinder. So if you need some regrinds done, go check him out. Tell him I sent you. But I don't think he offers dual grinds. Maybe if you're a good customer, maybe he will, but not on like he doesn't promote it, I don't think. What was the next thing? Oh, you know, man, it's kind of upsetting. I have my, you know, I did the HAPSTONE video. I'm having issues with the affiliate link. So the affiliate link that I had in the description during that video didn't work. It sent you to some other fucking site. So it just, I wound up putting that link in a whole bunch of videos and none of them worked. So I've swapped them now. And now the new one, I don't think is working either. So I'm having issues with that. So if anybody made any purchases, you know, I appreciate it, but it just, you know, it's not gonna, I'm thinking about just taking it down just because I don't know. Obviously I'm gonna take the link down, you know, because it's not working, but I might just have to wait until we figure it out or they use a different affiliate company. But I was really excited about being an affiliate with HAPSTONE because they have so many sharpening products that I fucking want to, you know, I want to tell people about. But hopefully we get it figured out. Someone who has a 15B Manix 2 for sale or trade. Does someone have, you're asking if someone does? That's a tough one. I'm altruistic and all. It's the motive for the little baby Patreon. By the way, Patreons, somebody didn't claim a prize, and it's like a fucking $400 knife. So make sure if you're a Patreon and you entered the Patreon, go and watch the winner video, because I literally already shipped out everybody's stuff. Everybody should have their stuff by now, but not one guy, because he never, at least to my knowledge, maybe something got sent into the spam bucket or something, but I need him to contact, and it was the Leon Ma Field Duty is what he won. So good knife at the very least. I mean, if you could sell it, you know, and I've already tuned the detent on it. I cut in lock bar access. So it's already got, you know, it is like 10 times better than when I got it, you know. So do you have any Paragon Asheville steel knives? Yeah, I got the Warlock. This is the only one I got. This is the only one I think I've even tried. I think I might have tried. No, yeah. I think this is the only one I've ever even tried. I like it though. I'd love to try other ones though. And this is a USA made gravity knife. If anybody doesn't know, you can find them at Blade HQ. My link from Blade HQ, just type in Paragon Warlock or just Paragon. It'll wind up coming up. They're actually, for USA made, they're actually relatively affordable. And they're badass. Who's the winning guy? It's I don't know his name, because I can only see his YouTube name. So because the winner won, because you leave the comment on YouTube, so it's your name on YouTube. So it's not his real name. At least I don't think that's his real name. It's like Marcusa or something like that. I mean, it might be his name. I don't know. I'm not trying to talk shit about the dude's name. The Warlock is so nice. Thinking about picking one up. Yeah, no, it is pretty cool. I did hear that. So mine has this this grind thing right here. I heard that these ones are a little bit, because see how it can catch like that. You have to keep your fingers off of the handle when you do it. But I heard the other one, it's a lot more slicker. That's what I heard. The one that doesn't have this, you know, the wavy grind thing. But trust me, you get used to it though. Like with me, you know, you can see I have no problem doing it. You just got to make sure you don't pinch down here. But because it is double edged. Hey, Jared. Had a hollow grind done by Demco 20.5 and my Spartan Harsey 3.25. Yeah, by BGM. And he did such an amazing job. Thank you for the recommendation. Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. Had that so the 3.25, you got the small one done, huh? That's cool. Because to me, that knife is just like the big one. It's entirely way too thick. Now, the big one I can kind of understand because it's a tactical knife. But the little one's an EDC knife. Like, you can't argue that that's a tactical knife. So why is it so thick? So yeah, that's badass that you got it reground. And good idea. I recently pulled this guy out. What the heck is the name of it again? The Field Spec EDC 1. I haven't pulled this out in a little while. I seen it earlier and I was like, hey man. So I have different grips, different micarta and G10 grips. But these things are dope. M390 steel, nice and slicey. It's a small, compact EDC. He does make these in like spear points and other blade shapes, but really, really good. Nice sheath. Super slicey. Came with a really good edge and really good quality micarta. I love good quality micarta, man. When you can get good micarta, because good micarta, you know, like something like that is going to turn just like this. Like, I personally like that. Like, where it kind of ages a little bit. That looks so good to me. And this one, I haven't even, like, I mean, I've handled it a lot, but not as much as I could have. It could be a lot darker. And then some of my slip joints, like you can see this one with the black micarta. Now, you can always wash it. And if you don't like that type of patina, just polish it. So People don't think realize this about carbon fiber and micarta. If you like, so carbon fiber, if you want it to look wet, like if you want to be like kind of like that, what is it? Is it the Katsu or like the Katsu knife, kind of like the Katsu knife. It if you want it polished where it's like shiny and it looks wet, you can literally just polish it like with a polishing belt, or you can do it by hand or whatever, you know, just going through all the grits till you get to a polish, and you can make it actually like super slick, super smooth. I mean, it looks really cool. You can do the same thing with micarta and make it to where it doesn't patina like it does when it's fibrous. You probably have to just recalibrate, but yeah, please hit the like button, especially if that's true. Showing 40 on my side, 53. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys reminding the chat. What's up, Neve nerds? What's up, Dan? I really like knives. People kinds first tool. Yeah, people kinds first tool. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Right next to the rock, right? Or a hammer, I guess you could call it a rock. You know, that's what it was. A basher. Okay. So I showed this to the members. I bought I got this knife, and I'm still planning on doing the video. Fuck, man, I don't even know how much money I have in this video already. It's sad. I don't even want to say the number. So I got this knife, and I set this whole thing up, did the video, recorded it, and it wasn't recording. I must have hit the button and stopped recording. I don't know what happened, but either way, I did this entire video and none of it got recorded. 2 different angles, mind you. Both of them were fucked. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Redid the video. So like a week later, bought all new stuff, did it all again, all the money right back into it. And the second time, the damn tool breaks. I don't want to tell you guys what it is, but it's fucking badass. So now I'm doing my best to fix it. I'm trying to fix it. I fixed part of it. I don't have the tools, so I'm like ordering the tools to try to fix it. Hopefully I'll have it fixed. But my plan was to do all these fruits and all this stuff, and then I ordered this expensive ass fucking ballistics gel with a liver inside of it, because I wanted to show what would happen if it got somebody. But now I'm not sure if I'll be able to use it on that. I have to use this within 3 weeks. They tell you that the paper says use it quick, because you can't like keep it. It's not something you can just put in your garage. Once you get it, you have 2 to 3 weeks to use it. So I'm already a week in. So if I can't get this thing fixed in time, I might just have to use the karambit on it. And this wasn't the knife I was going to use on it. It was a completely different knife. A knife I spent a lot of fucking money on. Well, I did a trade, but still the value. And I'm sure you guys already know, but I'll say it again. The FLN is up for pre-order. If you do want to get one, you can get it with or without the karambit ring. If you get it without the karambit ring, you will still get a karambit ring. It'll just be a G10 one that you can put on or take off anytime you want. And yes, it will come with the knife. Now, obviously, if you get the metal one, you can't do anything about it. It's just solid. But these are up for pre-order right now, and you should have them in your hand a little over a month, like 35, 40 days or something like that. By like November 15th or something like that, you should have it in hand. So it's going to go very quickly. They're already making them now. I'm still waiting for one of my production versions so I can make a video on it. I should have had it already, and just things get messed up, when you're rushing. So Jared, if you don't get it fixed in time, just remember you got that kukri. Yeah, but this thing, you wait till you find out what it is. I'll have to try send you my Delica or something. Do you have any cool pens? I got tactile pens. I have 2 tactiles. I got the Olight pens. I got like 1 brass pen, but it's nothing. It's just a cheap shit. But I do like pens, but no, I don't have like a pen arsenal. I like ever since I was a kid, like if a pen wrote really good, I wanted it. Like I'd even probably take it. But I have a fascination with pens that write well. And I do have some Olight pens that I actually really like. They work really well. And like I said, I have the tactile pens that I do really, really like as well. I have two other titanium pens, one from Tucson and one from Reich, I think. The Reich one though is like what are those things called? I can't think of what it's called. Where the ink like drips down off of the thing. I can't think of what it's called for like calligraphy and shit. The FLN alternative blade shape options would love that in a warning. Well, it's already a hawk bill, and it's not a overly done hawk bill. The point of the shape is so that you can still sharpen it. Like if you use a fixed angle system, you'll be able to sharpen it, even if you have a 1-inch stone. A 1-inch stone will sharpen this just fine. And if you're a freehander, you definitely have no problem sharpening. So it doesn't make sense to even turn it into a warning. Well, I mean, it's going to work very similar to a warning and even better. So it's a small taper, so you'll have no problem sharpening it. A fountain pen, yeah, I guess a fountain pen. I'm not like Cole, where I'm the pen genie and I know everything about pens. I'm very limited. I know how they write. That's about it. Love the live stream with Metal Complex. Any plans to do it again? Yeah, we've already talked. Hopefully, we do that very soon. I'd love to have him on. He talked about me coming back on his, so hopefully we do that very soon because I have a ton of topics I would love to just chat with him about. And I think for that live, we'll probably just not that I won't see the comments, but I probably won't read the comments as much unless if they're super chats, just so me and him could just make like a really cool episode of me and him just shooting the shit like nobody's here. The thing is that when you're with somebody on a live like this, if you guys weren't here, right? Me and him were just like sitting here doing it, just me and him. It's gonna be like a different etiquette, just because you're not reading, you're not doing anything, and you're just sitting here shooting the shit like you're in the same room. So it's nice to imitate that. It makes for a far better conversation. Better topics come up. You go into better details. You don't feel like you're rushing, or you feel like you've talked on a topic too long or something like that. Because when you're doing it like this, it's better to break it up into sections and stuff like that. Silvanos, with the two crackers, did you ever handle an Anton? No, I don't unless it was at Blade Show Atlanta. I don't think so. Thank you for the two crackers. I do not know though. It sounds familiar. Kyle, I just poked my finger and signed my love and blood. What's up, Terrence? Thank you for joining. Deadliest knife in the world. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's definitely the deadliest knife in the world, the one I'm trying to test right now. Would you consider a TM or TRM Shadow a fair trade for a 15V Max? I just scored. I'm gonna low my Carta Shadow, and I'm considering using my Black G10 Shadow as a trade bait to complete my 15V collection. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say I'm trying to think of what I paid for mine. I don't even remember. I'll say this. The Mannix, you can modify, you can change. There's so many parts for it. You can do so much for it. The TRM, there's not much you can do with it. So it's just basically the way it is. Now, maybe they'll come out with scales in the future and you'll be able to get them. I know they have titanium scales for the knife, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean. But I love the TRM Shadow. I freaking love the TRM Shadow. So I want to make that clear. I would not trade mine personally for it because it's the only one I have, but I have the Mannix 15, so 15V. So if you already have a Mannix, then maybe no. But if you don't have a Mannix, and I guess you just want that one. I mean, yeah, I mean it's a decent deal. It's you'd probably make the trade pretty quick. Pens get ludicrously expensive when you get into mid-range and higher. That's what Cole said. Cole said they fucking go off the charts. It's really easy to spend many, many thousands of dollars quick in pens. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Deadliest knife in the world is the knife in Jared's hand. Absolutely. So I finally seen John Wick 4. I finally got to see it. So I watched it the other day, and it was pretty good. You know, obviously, you know, the farther they go, the more crazier it gets. But it was dope. I will say this though, man. It is astonishing how he has his bulletproof suit thing, right? I understand it's bulletproof, right? It's bulletproof. And he pulls up the thing like fucking Batman with his cape over his face to stop bullets, and he don't even get a black eye. Can you imagine? I don't give a shit what kind of Kevlar it is. And if it stops a bullet, I don't care if it stops 50 cals. If you have that little bit of, you know, shirt in between you and your face and a bullet hits it, you're going to feel like you just got punched by a bullet. It's going to hit you so hard, it's going to break your fucking cheekbone, most likely. And he's getting lit up. Like, it's just hilarious. When he took his jacket off, all the bullets like fell out. There's this girl in there, and I'm not trying to spoil the movie or anything, but I know we were so when I went to Blade Show Atlanta, I talked to the guys from G&G Hawk. They said that they made a knife for John Wick 4. So I filmed the video about what knife's going to be in John Wick 4. I had made a video before that, thinking, you know, just basically making a video like what knife would John Wick have in the next movie or something. And then I found out what knife he actually had, so I did a video on it, right? It's a short video, but it's a great video. Anyways, so they never used it though. So what happened was they had the knife and they were planning on using it in a scene and then cut it. I don't know. They never used it. However, there is a scene with this little Asian girl. I think it's a Microtech OTF. You see it a bunch of times. She pulls it out and, you know, she goes to town with it, which is pretty dope. Get the 100 Bics at Sam Club for like $20. What are you talking about? Vests don't stop the energy. Right. They just spread it out. You would still get the living fuck knocked out of you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's my point. Like, it's one thing to take him in the body. You know, you kind of like think like, okay, whatever, he's dealing with it. But when you're talking about wrapping your face, you know, with your jacket, and your face would be fucked up. You'd be messed up big time. Anyone have the Leatherman Arc yet? Worth it. I don't have that one. I need to try some more Leathermans. Hi, Jared. How do you sharpen with a knife with no sharpening choil if you only have a KME? So I don't know exactly what knife you're talking about, but you have to sharpen up to the plunge as much as possible. So just get it as close as you can to here without going past there. And strike your stone. So like start your stone here and work it that way. Then pick it up, put it here, work it that way. You can do back and forth motions, but when you're working your way this way, that's you're gonna have the biggest chance of hitting the plunge. So if you're working just like this way and you're lifting it up and then setting it back down and working that way, lifting it up, setting it back down, you'll have less of a chance of burning up the plunge grind. You're probably going to hit it anyways. So it's up to you if you want to just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But make sure you're doing full strokes. And another thing, you could always cut in your own choil, most likely. I don't know what type of knife it is. Now, like if it's a Spyderco, which actually we're going to talk about plunge grinds. That was actually one of the things I was going to talk about. Let me grab a Spyderco. So what are the let's grab this. All right, so Spyderco plunge grind. Why do I not bitch about Spydercos? Because I get this comment a lot. I bitch about plunge grinds, and I always get on all these companies about doing bad plunge grinds. Spyderco doesn't even, or choils. Spyderco doesn't even have a choil. Why don't I bitch about it? Well, this is why I don't bitch about Spydercos, is because their plunge grind drops straight down. So if you look at the plunge, right, it doesn't taper. It doesn't start here and end here. If I grab, I don't know if I have a knife with a good example. Give me a second. Okay. This is kind of like that. See how the plunge grind starts and then it slowly tapers down to the edge? That is going to create a smile when you sharpen. It's going to hit that thicker part. So when you go to sharpen, let's pretend this is my stone. When you go to sharpen, you're going to hit right there, and it's going to cut that way into the thicker part, making it look bad. It's going to look weird. Like it'll be cut in there and it'll look abnormal. Spydercos, they don't taper, so you don't hit them. You just sharpen up to them. When you sharpen up to them, you can see, oh, come on. Maybe I'll flip it the other way. Yeah, it's a little better. You can see you can sharpen all the way up to the plunge grind without making a smile, without damaging all of this. So that's why I don't bitch about it. Now, some people, they like to throw a little notch in there. Cool. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do that because sometimes where they do have that area, you know, it can maybe look a little finicky right there, but it never looks as bad as a damn smile. But you can always cut in a little one if you want to, just with a fucking diamond file or whatever, Dremel. But that's why I don't bitch about it. A perfect choil looks like this, where the end of the plunge grind stops. So it starts here. They tapered it down to right there. But from here to here is the same thickness. So all of this life right here, this is all steel I can sharpen off before I'll ever hit the plunge grind. So what'll happen is that if I want to lower back my angle, I can do it. If I want to sharpen it 100 times, I can do it. It makes it to where you have a life on the edge. And if you sharpen it, it's not going to look like it just got ran through the fucking ringer. Because what sucks is when you sharpen a knife one time and it looks like shit. And you hit the plunge grind, it looks all wonky, and you go from having a nice clean edge to having, you know, some shit. It sucks. The ProTech Malibu I purchased comes with a smile out of the box. Sent it in for reblink. Good. Send that shit back. I can't remember what their plunge grinds are like on that one. I do my plunge grinds the same as Spyderco. Yeah, if it's straight down, it doesn't matter. You can sharpen up to it. I think the best way is the way I just shown with the Veritas, like that, or like a Chris Reeves. A Chris Reeves is literally the best. The only other knife that I can think of that does it just like that is the CMB Predator. That's like the best way you could do it, because you can't sharpen. You'll never sharpen all that steel out. By the time you do, you'll be throwing that knife away. You got your money's worth. With this one, that's a lot of life. So that's a perfect choil to me. Perfect plunge grind, I should say. Because it's not about the choil, it's about the plunge grind. You don't even have to have a choil like Luck probably does. He probably doesn't have choils. He probably just has the plunge grind. Holy shit. Has anyone seen the new LG video wall? You can build your own TV as big as you want with with pieces like a damn puzzle. What are you talking about? Tom says that was a reply to someone's earlier comment with the pen topic was a goof. Gotcha. That Veritas is dope. Yes, it is. It's very, very dope. Is self-evident the right word? Thoughts? Thought the two was the Tanto. I do have, maybe I shouldn't show you guys. Reate just dropped some new knives that I'll be showing them probably tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure when they're going to drop on the site, but I'll definitely try to have a video up by then. I'm sure you guys already seen this. floating around, but personally, I wouldn't. I don't like it, but I understand why some people do. But Civivi put out a Halloween edition button lock Elementum. It's got the hollow grind. It's got the skulls. You got the skulls on there. You got the skulls on the handle. You got the fire. It's a Halloween edition. I get it, It's an Elementum, so it's dope. I mean, it works great. They're fantastic knives. I'm not sure how good that coating will hold up. You can see it's only on the side, like it didn't go over the spine. Yeah, obviously it's not for everybody, but to me, it looks like a gas station knife, a real gas station knife, not like what everybody calls gas station knives. This actually looks like a gas station knife, but to each their own. And some people, if they have the Elementum collection, it might not be a bad idea to have this one in the collection, man. You can have an entire collection of, all because they have so many different ones, man. And I'm sure you guys seen, maybe you guys haven't, but what's coming soon with the Baby Banter. They have a Warney version coming. You guys know that? A Warney version coming of this. Maybe I should, maybe I'll pull up a picture in a minute. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I think it looks pretty dope. It looks really, really cool. A Wharncliffe version of the Baby Banter. This is such a tiny knife, but man, you can get a full 4-finger grip, kind of like the pin. This is the Devo Knives pin. What a cool little knife, man. This thing is pretty cool. I wish I could have tried the titanium one, but this carbon fiber looks so dope. It looks so clean, looks so slick. And by the way, all of them are the same price. So if you want titanium, it doesn't cost you more. Nice deep hollow grind and S90V steel. This is a cool little knife, but you can see it's about the same size as the Baby Banter. That's pretty cool. Speaking of little knives, the Kaiser S. This is a badass little knife. To me, when I seen it, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I don't know that thing. I wouldn't like that thing. That's what I thought looking at it, before I got it. I was like, that thing's fucking ugly. Then I got it in hand, and the first time I fired it off, it was like, whoa, the thumb studs, man, that detent is so crispy. Man, for an affordable knife like this feels like Koenig Arius fucking action. Like, look at this thing. It's on multi-row bearings, I believe. Multi-row ceramic bearings. And that detent, man, like I said, it's just so crispy. But it's not just about the action, but the action does, we know, the action is a huge part to high-end knives. You know what I mean? Because all knives can cut, right? But what does the knife that's high end give you a little bit more of, right? Should be heat treat, geometry, action, acoustics, all those things add up. Speaking of acoustics, we got something we're going to show you here in a second, but first I want to talk about this knife. And it is on Knives Ship Free. And it is Big Ideas. And I do have Knives Ship Free down in the description, so if you guys want to get it, just use my link down in the description. Anytime you guys want to buy a knife, anytime. I don't care if it's a Tuesday and you haven't seen NeevesKnives for a week and you're like, man, I want to buy that knife. Come to NeevesKnives and just click any video, especially the most recent videos. Click the most recent video and the links will be down in the description to all the dealers. You can probably get it there. And if I don't have a link to it, then I'm sorry, but I most likely do. Anyways, so I was looking at this knife and I almost bought it. And you know what stopped me? I'm just going to tell you what stopped me. And I'm not trying to convince you not to buy it. But what stopped me was the fact that I can't reverse flick the hole. The hole is blocked by the frame lock. I'm wondering, can you get to it on the other side? Like on this side when it's closed, like for a thumb flick? I don't know. I love the look of it. The style's badass. I love the look of the ergonomics. The spear point blade's beautiful. It's got multiple deployments, but let's see, 60 HRC and S35 VN 220. I don't know, man. I don't like the thought of, like, because I always bitch at like companies that put a fuller or, I understand there's some times where it's just aesthetic, but there's other times where it's like, man, that looks super functional if I could just get to it. And, it just kind of sucks. It's like, why'd you put that there? It's like, man, now I want to use it, but I can't. Who's the OEM on that one, Jared? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm guessing Best Tech, but I have no idea. No clue at all. Does it say? I don't even know who does Big Ideas Design, Big Ideas Knives. I don't even know. I don't keep up with them. I probably should. Are they making themselves, or is it, I'm guessing it's an OEM. I have no idea though. I don't really keep up with these guys. I just seen it. When you get that Porsche, Jay, you better show it on the channel. Oh, I absolutely will. I absolutely will. Not in like a rubbing it in type of way, but in I fucking finally got my dream. Do you think lock stick would be an issue without an insert? Yes. And the reason why is so, Spyderco does knives all the time with, oh, you're talking about on that knife. On that knife, I don't know if there is a lock bar insert. There might be one there, but so this is the thing. If the lock bar is thick enough, you don't need a lock bar insert. The knives were made for a long time without steel lock bar inserts. Spyderco's, are a great example. I have tons of them. Chris Reeve knives, great example. There's tons of knives that don't have steel lock bar inserts. The Spartans, but what they have to do is two things. One, they have to get the lock face geometry down perfectly. Number two, they have to make sure it's thick so it has a good contact point, and it's not just so it's a wide contact point, not just like a little spot, like a little tiny area. That's what creates thick. And with that, that usually is pretty good. And then another thing, they can carbonize it. So if they carbonize it, it'll stop it, from sticking until that wears off. Then you can always get it recarbonized. But companies like to put the steel lock bar insert in because it prevents all that. It's going to lock up without lock stick, without fear of lock stick. And lock stick, it was an issue for a lot of knives. Now another thing is how they're doing their titanium. Some companies are, speaking of like Strider or something, they run theirs a little bit softer, which is why they get tons of lock stick. I had to carbonize mine, but most companies, yes, if they did not have a steel lock bar insert, yes, they would have lock stick, and the lock bar insert definitely helps that out. And also it makes it to where it's steel on steel contact instead of titanium, which is a softer material, and it doesn't wear down as fast. Now, of course, there's examples of knives like Chris Reeve knives where they last like freaking forever without, grinding too much off and getting to 100% lockup, but eventually they will. And with a steel lock bar insert, you can replace it. So what happens is, say if your lock bar moves its way all the way over, say if this lock bar goes all the way over to fully locked up and it's 100% locked up, well, you could take the steel lock bar insert, replace it, and make it back to brand new. Back to early lockup. What are a couple of your favorite premium small knives? I don't know, but you guys ever seen this? That was the Spyderco Chubby. You guys probably never even seen that bastard. This thing is so rare, so rare. Somebody's going to contact me after this and want to buy it. What are some of my favorite? Well, I'll tell you what, the pin is really cool. I do like the pin. I do like the baby banter. The Spyderco Dragonfly. That's another one I really like. That new knife from oh man, I can't think of the name. From Maxace Designs. That one's pretty cool. It's really small too. There's a lot of cool small knives, man. There's tons of them. I can think of a ton of small knives that are really cool. I'm just not I like bigger knives better. All I can say is that my Medford TF one has had zero lock stick, not even once. Yeah, I've had lock stick on some of my Medfords, but I've also have some that or have none, and like it never even like shown a sign of it. So my mini Malice had a little lock stick, but that's a button lock. But I managed to fix it. But I can't fix my big Banter's stick. So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to fix it right fucking now. Right now. get yourself a permanent marker out. Permanent marker. And if you have a pencil, get a pencil too, but get a permanent marker, especially. I don't have a banter right here, but I'm going to grab something else. Find your lock face. Right there's the lock face. See, when it comes around, the lock bar engages right there. Find that lock face. Clean it off first. Make sure it's clean. And then take and put the marker right there, right where the lock bar lands. Blow on it. Let it dry. And then put another coat. Let that dry. Put another coat. Then open it up. Open it up about 3 or 4 times. Then, after you open it up 3 or 4 times, add another coat. Open it up 3 or 4 times, add another coat. Do that about 5, 6, 7 times, and you will have enough permanent marker on both the lock bar and the lock face that it'll probably not stick for, you know, a few months. And then if it does come back pretty quickly, even though you put lots of layers, use some graphite over the marker. So put the marker on first, then the graphite. It works really good. I asked about lock stick because I don't have a ton of experience with tie frame locks. I have an Exceed Design Tyrant Razor V3 that has an insert. Yeah, it's just about lock face geometry. And you know, there is other reasons why steel lock bar inserts are superior. You know, some companies would argue that you don't need them, and that's true, you don't. But you know, there's a great argument for them and why you should have them. And when you're mass producing knives at a high level with really good quality knives, having a steel lock bar insert guarantees, like, after you put it together, if there's an issue, you know, with the lockup or anything like that, you can just change that out. And now the lockup, and you can, you know, modify it and whatever. So it helps with warranty work. It helps with a lot of things. And you don't have to worry about lock stick. Because, you know, even though a lot of companies do a really good job with them, even the best of the best still sometimes get lock stick. I'd love to see a best Reate made knives video. A lot of people seem to agree they're one of the best OTMs. They are the best OEM. It'd be cool to see the best of their best. Yeah. Well, this is definitely one of my favorites from them, but they don't make it no more. They do have a ton of greats. There's specifically like 1 or 2 that I don't have, that they don't make anymore, that are like some of their best. I don't know why they don't make them no more. They're so fucking good. But as far as their knives, like their OEM, because the thing is that they're an OEM and they make their own knives. So they have Reate knives, and then they have their OEM knives. If both of them were on the list, that's a long list. But yes, they are the best. And I say that they're the best. There's a few reasons. One, they do superior work to everybody. And they get the little details down pat. Most of the time, obviously, the designer can fuck that up. But as long as the designer does their due diligence, they do a really good job. And they do a good job with their heat treatments. They do a lot of hand work, you can tell. So they are, like, they're worth their money. They do really good work. Now, I would say next in line would be We Knife Co. and then Best Tech. Yeah, probably. And then, you know, you can go on and on. Beef stick with 2 bones. Fucking Mary Kay Skeleton Complex Shabazz. All right. I love my EXO-M a lot. And I did manage to get one of those katana looking knives right before discontinuing. Oh, the K2s. So I'm sure you guys know, but there's a small EXO coming. I actually have 3 of them right over here. So they have a small one coming, which is really, really cool. Off target, but I've asked multiple times to no avail. Should I be using a pivot oil on folding EDC? And if so, how often? Yes. So you want to use, I personally think you should get 2. You should get KPL Heavy. It literally says Heavy, KPL Heavy, and KPL Original. The original goes on your bearings, but the most important part is not your bearings, it's your detent. And that is what the Heavy's for. So you want to do this if you start feeling like it's starting to get not smooth again, you know, that's a time to do it. You can kind of feel, you'll feel it when a D10, especially a D10 ball, when a D10 ball goes dry, it can be very scratchy. It's remember, it's ceramic, so it's harder than the steel, but you just add a little tiny drip. This stuff is a gel, so it doesn't come pouring out. You can literally just do a little tiny dot if you want to. Like, it's super easy. Anyways, so you put a little tiny dot on the detent ball, let that work its way in. And then you add the regular to the bearings, and you do that about, I'd say, once every 3 months, you know. Dink, dink, one on both sides, just a nice little drippity drop. This one runs out faster though. So this is a gel, this is not. And then yeah, about every 3 months do it. If you feel like your detent, because it depends on how much you're flicking it, you know, a lot of things are variables, right? How often do you rinse it out under the sink? How, you know, there's so many factors. So, but you know, on average, I'd say once every, you know, couple months. Fuck, Mary, kill Jared. Answer me. Oh, you're asking me? Which one? All right. Fuck, Mary, kill. Skeleton Complex Shabazz. All right. Well, I'm going to. That's a weird one. That's a weird one. Mary Complex, kill Skeleton, and fuck Shabazz. He's a little guy. Oh, I seen a Null Knives question. Are they Null Knives OEM? Reate is. Reate does Null Knives, yes. The reason why they're so good, right? Chavez too. That's Reate, or at least most of them. Insert pretty much any Sharp by Design for the best Reate. Yeah, Sharp by Design. You can pick, and there's a long list. Like even like the Jared Ogier F-22. That's fucking phenomenal, man. There's a lot of great knives. But got tired of fighting for the drops and not even seeing them pop up in stock. How often is it used as a poop knife? That fucking story. Do you know who the USA OEM is for James brand of the Wells? Cost $425 in blades. I do not. I do not. Yeah, I do not know that. It's questionable, right? They should just say it. I don't know if they do. Look it up and see if they say it. It's like just write it in Google. But if they're not saying it, then it's questionable. What's going on? What's the point? Nick isn't as small as I was expecting. I've never met him, so in my mind, he's a tiny guy. He's not tiny, small. I don't want to sound like a dick, but you know, just based off of his fucking hands, I've never met him, you know, so never, you know, I know a lot of people that know him, but I don't. So, you know, I got based off of his hands. That's it. Do not buy the Wells. The James brand is overpriced and overrated. I would buy Malibu instead. Well, there's a lot of knives well, there's a few James brands I would love to have, but damn it, they're just way too fucking overpriced. Like they're trying to sell to a specific person, and it's not the knife community. It's not the knife community at all. Triple B going to check them. Oh, be right back. Going to check them out. I thought you said Triple B. Would you only rather have 5 high-end customs or 20 awesome sub $700? I'd say sub 700. That's a fucking great price range. Shit, I can get phenomenal knives sub 700. As far as the high end customs, there are, you know, a few, yes, I would love to have, but there are some, man, if I can get it right around $700, there's some of the ones I really want I can get right around that price, especially secondary. But some of the badass ones, man, secondaries are even more. But anyways, yeah, I would go better. I'd do better with the 20. And I think with the 20, you could, because the thing is when you've been in the community long enough and you bought enough knives, say if you've bought 20 or 30, $300 knives, right? Well, now what you can do is you can stop spending money and you can just recycle. So you can take this knife, sell this knife, use that money to buy this knife, take this knife, trade it for that knife, and you can just swap and trade, and keep an evolution going. So every year you have another 20 knives or 40 knives or whatever, and it makes it to where of course you're going to spend money here and there, but it's not going to be to the extent because you just take, like your top 10 that you love the most, and then you have like 5 that you use, right? That are like those are your users. You have your other ones that you just love and enjoy and maybe use a little bit. And then you have your other ones that are purely just because you love them and you're going to wind up selling them or trading them or whatever. What's your ultimate grail knife that you would divorce your wife to get? I don't know, probably the $10 million golden knife, something like that. Fucking $10 million is $10 million. No, I don't know. I don't know if there's such knife. Like I said, I do know of one that's like solid gold. It's supposed to be like millions of dollars, but some customs, even if you want them, you aren't getting one. I've been chasing a Sharp by Design Nadeau custom for a while, vaporware. But yeah, knives, and money are one thing to come by, but coming by a good woman, man, that's a rarity. Way off topic, brought up hands. Have you ever seen Jeff Dave's hands? No, I haven't. They're gigantic. That dude's pinky is the size of a jumbo Sharpie. I might know who you're talking about. There's this guy that I'm thinking of right now that has huge hands. Jared, I have the James Brandon Magnica at 63 if you want to look at it. Maybe get a hold of me. Is it available at places? Like, can I link it, or is it like just sold out and you can't get it no more? Where's the best place to sell knives? Nafsale.com. Naf, KNAF, sale.com. $10 million, buy her a bigger ring. Exactly. That's what I mean. She would want me to. Do you like she'd be fucking stupid to say, no, how dare you? Just be divorced, fucking for $10 million. I feel Metal Complex would be a good power bottle. I get out of jail free divorce knife. Yeah, the get out of jail free divorce knife. Exactly. You'd have to be one that like if she's listening in the other room, that if you said it, she'd be like, yeah, I guess I understand that. All right. So what was the next thing? Oh yeah. Check this out. This is cool. Is it right here? No. There it is. Okay, so you guys got to listen because it's a video. So be quiet and listen. I know the music sucks, but it has like these pins on it or something that make that noise. I don't know if those are that or what, but it makes that damn noise, man. It's so addicting. I would love to have one of those. I can't stop fidgeting with the one that Bones gave me, but I have 2 of them. I think the answer should be there is none. Politically, yeah, unromantic mutt. No, that's literally the foolish answer. That's the fucking foolish answer. Of course there's one, right? You'd be a liar to say there isn't one. I think like if you were talking about like your great grandma or something, then maybe you could argue that, right? But come on, like, put it this way. Let's say you went to your wife and you said, hey, check it out. If we get divorced, we get $100 million. Do you think she would say, no, fuck that? I like living in a trailer. No, she's going to say, get your ass out. Let's get this fucking divorce happening. Because you don't have to split up. You just can't be fucking married. When my wife hears bang, Neeves knives, or what's going on YouTube, the divorce papers get unfolded out of her pocket. Oh, that's hilarious. Ultimate fidget spinner. I was thinking it's magnetic or something. It is magnetic. It definitely has magnets in it. Kind of like the one that I have. I just can't find it right now. Oh, here it is. It's like that, or it's magnets. So this one does that, and then you can like spin it, flip it, or you just go back and forth. I like doing this just. Kind of cool. Do you have my number? I don't think so. I don't think I have your number. Would you be sick if a knife detent sounded like that? Besides the factor, yeah, it would be sick. That's what I'm thinking about the whole time. Even Two Bone said like it sounds like a factor, a Herman, and a whatever all fucking had a baby. Somebody made a comment saying that in my video on the JK knives, and I didn't even realize that I have or have tried or whatever the KANSEPT production version of this. I didn't even realize it. I didn't put it together, man. This thing is so fucking smooth. But anyways, what I was gonna say, damn it, this thing is so smooth. Somebody said in my video the detent looked like it was weak, like it had a light detent. They're like too light of a detent. What? How did you get that from my video? I don't know how you got too light of a detent. I cannot fail it. The only way I can fail it is if I leave my finger there and it comes around and hits it right there. Like it's so different. You can't fail it. Just breaking that detent, man, because yeah, it's too much. So that doesn't make any damn sense. But anyways, this thing is dope. Polish Custom Knives. Check them out. Fucking awesome, awesome knives. And while we have that sucker out, let's check out the damn Herman with the oh baby. That sound, man. That clink back in too. That's the moneymaker right there. Listen. This thing's beautiful. I love it. I'm thinking about getting what the fuck's it called? I can't even think of what it's called now. The other one that they have, was it called a ladybug or something like that? I don't know, something like that. I can't even think of it. The dragonfly? I think that's what it's called, the dragonfly. What would Jesse Lee Peterson say? Beta. Yes, exactly. Kaiser Veritas today having a hard time from flipping and thumb flicking. The Veritas? You're having a hard time? I don't know why you'd have a hard time. Oh, you're probably holding the lock bar. So don't touch the lock bar. Don't touch the lock bar. Keep your fingers off. You always have to keep your fingers back off of the lock bar. That's your problem. You're going like this and you're squeezing the lock bar like that. And what's happening is that detent ball can't come out of the hole because you're pushing it in. So move your fingers out of the way. Like when you when you thumb flick, keep your fingers tucked back. Tuck them back. So basically like grip the spine of it like that. And you can touch down here, so get your good grip down here, but up here, make sure your fingers are out of the way. And then when you front flip, same thing. See how like I'm not even like touching with my middle finger? When I do this, like I'll sometimes keep my pointer finger off. That was my fault. So it's just you're probably locking yourself out. It's called death lock. My wife gave me the go-ahead on a full address Herman. She for sure is setting my ass up. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. just go ahead, do it. Makes me think of Japanese swords movies with that nice sound. Yeah, that's so true. Hell yeah, it does. What's up? I'm a newer channel on YouTube. I'm thinking about making EDC related content. I was just wondering if you have any advice for a beginner content creator. Consistency. Be consistent. If you're a new channel, I'd say that you have a lot of things to learn. So the advice that I would give somebody who already has a channel and has already posted 200 videos would be different than you. So that's the thing, is that you need to just be consistent, upload, get a lot of videos up, because over that time you're going to learn a lot of stuff. But like, if I was going to give you like the best information I could give to any YouTuber, one thing is plan your thumbnail and title before your video. So before you ever record anything, come up with ideas. So what I do is I write down a bunch of ideas, and then I take whatever the best idea is, and then I start making titles out of it. And I start making thumbnails. And I on paper, like, not, I just design them on paper. And then once I have a great thumbnail and title, and I know like this is a good one, and I don't do this with every video. I'm just saying like this is something that you want to do with like videos you want to do well. Because some videos I just don't have the time to do it, and I have to get videos up and stuff. But I do this like once every like 4 videos or something. But those ones are always the ones that do the best, always. Anyways, once you have that planned, then you can create a fantastic video. And when you start creating the fantastic video, keep a pace, break things up in sections, and keep a steady pace, like the beat to a song, so that you don't, because the worst thing to do is, like, say if you start your video, if people start double tapping, you've already failed. YouTube already sees, okay, they don't like this video, or this video isn't good enough for them to sit there and watch. So then now you're not going to make it to the entire pizza. YouTube's like a pizza, you know, the triangle slices all the way around, and your people, the people that are subscribed to you and that follow you, are one slice of pizza. In order to get to the next slice, the way you eat that pizza, or the way your video goes for that slice of pizza, is basically going to lead to whether or not your video does well or not. So and it's just hard to explain right here, but yeah, just consistency, man. Be consistent. And beef stick, for answering my question. I toss you 2 bones. Well, I appreciate it. Bone 99 though. Saying. Jared, please check out the Reich Atheron. It looks crazy. The Reich Atheron. Oh, nice. Yeah, I got to try that at Blade Show. I'll show everybody, but I wasn't a fan of it. I'll tell you why as soon as I pull it up. So the problem is that grind is so thick. Like, look at it. That's a hollow grind, but it is entirely way too thick to cut anything. And then the tip, yes, it'll stab something, but it is so thick up here that it's not going to be for cutting. Like, yeah, you can put an edge on there. So yeah, you could cut a human, but you're not going to cut cardboard or boxes or anything. Look at how thick it is. It's entirely way too thick. It's not made for cutting. This is made for show. That's what this is. This is an art knife, and that's why I wouldn't buy it. $375 for a knife that I would hate to use, unless if you're just going to open packages. If you're just going to open boxes and cut tape, that tip will work just fine. But if you ever wanted to slice through something, you're not going to want. But art knives exist for a reason. Like, I'm not saying, you know, you have to not buy it, right? You could buy it and it'll be awesome, as long as you know that it's an art knife and it's basically for show. It's not for use. Does anyone have a knife? Shuck blade. What the fuck does that mean? That knife looks like a touch warhammer. I've been much more into dress knives recently. Santa Fe Stoneworks is my go-to. Santa Fe Stoneworks. I don't know if I know them. Oh, okay. Here we go. I got them on Amazon. Okay, so I have a knife. Um, Let me go back. I have a knife that I don't know if it's from these guys exactly. It might be from these guys. It's really nice. It's really cool. Yeah, I think it is from these guys. So I do have one of these. I did a full video on it. It is really, really cool because they I think it's this company. They do woolly mammoth tooth inlays and things like that. That's what these are right here. Woolly mammoth tooth. They use a lot of exotic materials. Now, I will say that I wouldn't say so. The materials are high quality, right? Very high quality. It is a premium knife. That's for sure, right? It is, but again, that's more of like an art knife. That's a collector piece. You're not going to be using that. And it's not at the level of like Reate. So don't expect that. It has premium fucking materials built like a Kershaw leak. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that. But it's not like a Sharp by Designs. You know what I mean? But then again, if you use that material with Reate quality, it'll be thousands of dollars. So I get, the price is still worth what you're getting. But yeah, I've never been a person that would buy knives based on looks alone. If it doesn't perform its task as a knife first and foremost, then they just don't interest me. Yeah, that's usually the way I am too. But I do also love the look of certain knives. But to me personally, what I'm attracted to is the usefulness, the super thin grinds, or maybe even thick grind, depending on what I'm wanting, right? But the function things like the choils, the lock bar access, the blade shape, the grind, all those things are what appeals to my eyes. It wasn't in the beginning though. In the beginning, it was not. My favorite looking knife was like the zero tolerance 0450. And I found out why that was a horrible fucking knife. And from me testing knives and going through this journey, I realized what sucks and what looks cool but sucks and what works great. So I had to learn my lesson. I didn't know as much about geometry and stuff like that at that time, so I didn't know the thing has dumb geometry. Um, Soda Thief says, with the two bones, says, I want an illegal whale bone. Thanks for the Veritas tip. No problem, no problem. A whale's bone, huh? A whale dick bone? What's your favorite integral knife that is still being produced now? Hmm. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I got it. I can't show you though because it's coming out on the 16th. I could show you on YouTube. I'll show you one that's really dope. I don't know if it'd be my favorite, but it's probably damn close to it. There's a lot of great integral knives. So I'm not gonna put my foot down and say this is the absolute best one. But I will say this fucker's really good. Like really, really good. And I'll explain it as soon as I ever fucking find it. What is going on? Why can't I find it? Come on. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This thing is dope. The Wee Knife Co. Solid. 425 bones. This got Blade Show Knife of the Year for collaboration, for the best collaboration knife. I think that's what it was. Now the thing is that see it when it's closed. All right, let's look at this. Oh, you can't see it. So you can't see it, but there's a little tiny trigger up here in the corner. Can you guys see my mouse? There's a little tiny trigger up here in the corner, and you pull it down, and that loads. So then at that point, once you break the detent from because it's like spring operated, it'll kick. But this thing's an integral, and it is dope as shit. I'd show it to you, but I can't. But it's really, really cool. What do they call that? Striking pocket bills. I'm wondering what they call the flipper tab. Flipper opening with ball bearing pivot. They're not saying. It's got to be called something. Anyways, it's a spring operated trigger. That's what I'm going to call it. That's a damn fine looking knife. I tell you what, it is. It's a badass knife too. Open and closed. And that blade, you know, the grind, while it is, you know, a dual grind, it's still nice and slicey. The ergonomics are fucking phenomenal, especially being an integral too. Yeah, you know, the flipper tab, because it's the way it is, you don't have nothing blocking you. It's really good. SLT spring loaded tab. I knew it. I was so damn close. See, I basically invented the name. Spring loaded tab. I basically invented it. Yeah, I'm guessing he stole it from me from the future. Had one of his custom integrals. Amazing knife. Yeah, I got to try. Was it Zero Tolerance that did one? Zero Tolerance did something like that, didn't they? Cutting board knife reviews is in the house. Says it's time you take a stand on cancel the glass breaker culture. Complex advocates for it. What do you think about this and his attempts to delete the lanyard holes? So I don't mind the lanyard holes, but I don't think we should take away glass breakers, and I'll explain why. If you've ever rolled a car going 100 miles an hour and wound up upside down, you probably think like, man, it might be a good idea to have a glass breaker, you know? So because I've been in crazy situations, I can understand why you would want to have a glass breaker on your knife. It's in your pocket. It's right there. When you do roll a car, something happens, the things that are in places are not there no more. Everything's gone. Everything's fucked. So like, you're not going to probably find it if you have it in your door. Maybe if you have it in your glove compartment, if it doesn't open, but depending on how bad the crash is, you might not be able to get to it. So to me, I think it's not a bad idea to have a glass breaker. Now, I'm not saying all knives need glass breakers. I'm not saying that. Slow your roll. Of course not. In that case, I'd probably advocate to get rid of them. But there's few knives. Like, I don't think they need to be on all OTFs. I do think that's a little ridiculous. I don't know why they put them on all OTFs, but I do understand, like say the SOCOM Elite, that's a tactical knife, and you know, the glass breaker works great. I've tested it. So, what do you think of the Tuya Wrath? I freaking love the Wrath. Wraith, Wrath, whatever. I love it. It is an amazing knife. I have it right here. I think it's right here. There she is. It's a beautiful knife. I do have videos on it. Let me pull this out. What a gorgeous dual grind. Very thin. Fantastic action. I think Megaron did these, and they did a good job. They always do, though. Megaron does a phenomenal job. They have like some of the best front flipping actions because they do the right jimping. And you know why? Because I told them. That's why. It's all my fault. So you can thank me. You can thank me for these perfect flipper tabs. No, I did tell him. I said, listen, when you do front flippers, make sure the jimping goes up and all the way around. And he's done it ever since I said that. And I said, make sure it's sharp jimping. Do not put like fucked up jimping, because the first one I tried from them was like, but no, these are I think it was the first one. Anyways, badass knife. The one thing Megaron needs to get down better is the clips. This clip's fine, but on some of their knives, like even on this one, this is sharp material, right? And there's a lock bar thing right there, and the clip lands by it. So the lock bar cutout should have been put to the inside. The knife is dope, though. I love the knife. I totally recommend it. Use my Blade HQ link if you're going to get it, though. And if you're going to buy anything, use my damn affiliate links. About half the revenue we make on the channel comes from affiliate links. The zero tolerance, and we don't take, so we don't have like sponsorships. I mean, we do sometimes, like Nafsale sponsored us for a couple videos. We had what was that? That food company. I can't even think of what it's called anymore. Fresh something. They sponsored us. So we've had like sponsored, but we don't have like an official like channel sponsor or anything. So any bit of money is going to be coming from you guys watching and you guys using our links. So I greatly appreciate it. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate it if you guys go out of your way to use our links. I am very grateful, the people that do. Jared, I did that one. So can you at least say the name of the zero tolerance knife that's coming? I don't know it. I haven't even seen it. I don't even know what it looks like yet. They haven't showed me yet. They just told me that it was coming, and they asked me not to show it. A glass breaker can work as an insistence tool rather than employing the blade. Oh, you're saying, yeah, for like hitting pressure points and, punching somebody in between the eyes. Bladed engagements are horrific. They are not what top, they're not what too many think. Yeah, I agree. Most people don't know anything when it comes to knives and stabbing and stuff, and like how horrific it actually is. It is absolutely horrific. Um, and another thing is that, man, like there's so much like gore, like there's so much blood, that it makes things like it can make things slippery, make things bad. Like it could be a damn bloodbath. I mean, everybody knows, right? You've cut yourself pretty bad, seeing how much blood there was. Now think about if it was 10 times worse, right? Even like when I did my foot, when I stepped on that knife, I had a puddle underneath me immediately, like immediately. And I jumped down. That's why I yelled at Kara to get the trauma kit. I immediately ripped off my shirt and wrapped my foot with my shirt or something like that, something, whatever was nearby. And I fucking held that fucker tight because I knew that this thing is gushing. Like I could lose, too much blood. I could die. So, but like when it's your arm and things like that, like, whoo, even punctures, did Denise? Yeah, I went to Belize. I've been there twice. Other than yourself, of course, who would you recommend for knife sharpening in the community? A couple people. Lacey, Blades and Fades, Mike Emler. Just as long as their books are open, those are all good people. Kyle, I think, does some. I don't know if he has his books open or not. You have to check and see if their books are open. Many cut selves far more than what they would. Yeah, well, you're gonna get cut, a lot of times because like in a knife fight, not even knife fight, but like in a situation where a knife is drawn, there's so many movements and so much shit happens, and the fighting, you'll probably cut yourself with your own fucking knife. Even if you got the good end, because it's like, and I've seen this stuff. I've seen this where people literally will have like a knife in their hand, right? And then that what'll happen is, like, say if they're like this and then they want to go like this, the person will or is going to push their arm away to stop, not necessarily to stop the knife, but just to push it away so that they're off of them. And in the process, now you just hit yourself, so there is ways to do it, and there's places that are the best places and the best way to keep and hold the knife for good tactics. A lot of the places you hit are not the places you think. Like everybody thinks go for the neck, go for the chest, go for the heart and shit. That's not what you should go for. You should go for like the lower section, like the growing area. Yeah. Go for the growing area, the arms, the hands. If you cut the hand, they can't work, right? So you're stopping the biggest threat. You know what I mean? Like, not saying you can't, the throat and chest wouldn't be a great area. The point is, though, is that's going to be the area that's going to be the best ability for them to fight against, right? They'll be able to grab your arm a lot easier. They'll be able to deflect you a lot easier. But when you're down here with it, right, it's a lot harder to stop you from getting you in the growing or getting your hand that's preventing you. So, but just depends on the situation. But either way, yeah, expect to get cut. Sun cut bit me today. I had a conspirator that cut a deep of pinky, cut some nerves. Yeah, I've got a lot of nerve damage my damn self. Transparent Knives is in here. Shout out to Transparent Knives if he is. Started growing what? Started growing blood around. They left AIDS, sores had nothing to do with it. Kidding. I love Jared's stabbing sessions. All right. What do we got here? What time is it? 9:08. All right, we didn't do scent of the day, so let me do it really quick. So I was at the gym the other day. I have 2 fragrances really quick. By the way, watch that video tomorrow, guys. I beg you guys, please watch the video. I put a lot of work into it. Tactics to me means a firearm. Yes, I'd never involve myself in a knife fight. No winners. Well, it's not about choice, right? That's the thing. Even like with a firearm, a lot of people might choose the firearm if they could choose right now, but in the situation, it might not be the best option. You know, like I always give these certain. There's so many scenarios I can give you right now where the gun would be the worst option. And then there's scenarios where it's the best option. And then there's scenarios where you can't get it or the person's trying to take it or something like that, which I've seen. I've seen that. I've seen guns taken from people right out of their fucking holsters. I even had that happen to me one time where somebody literally pulled my fucking firearm out of my holster. But anyways, the point is though, is that you don't always have the choice of how it's going to happen. So it's just better to be prepared in any situation, you know, as much as you can be. You're not going to be able to plan and be prepared for the bad situation that's going to happen to you without being without like putting in so much training and work that you can't even have a full-time job. So, you know, but as long as you do enough that you're at least your body's prepared for it, because that's the biggest thing, is your mind and your body being prepared for it. You know, because most people have never seen real violence. Most people would freeze with real violence. If you've seen like real fucking violence, most people freeze. And when you've seen it, you know, and you kind of desensitized to it, you don't freeze no more, and you kind of just you deal with the situation, and you deal with it a lot more calmly. I've even found myself like under panicking situations, I'm very calm. But it's just because I've been through so many fucking panicking situations, and I've been through the times where like I went crazy. My heart went crazy. My hands go numb. Your face even goes numb because you're going into shock. I've been through all that. So, but anyways, my point is that the best thing you can do is put yourself into situations to test that, you know, to get your adrenaline going, and also get your body prepared. Because like, let's say, just for an example, let's say you're with your wife and something happens and you're at the bottom of a hill and you have to carry her ass up that hill. Can you fucking do it? Can you legitimately grab her, put her on your fucking shoulders and carry her up a hill? You know, if that's a no, which is going to be for 90% of people, that's something to work on, because that's, you know, a likelier thing to happen. So preparing for those things by being strong, being healthy, being, you know, just those things are going to be the best things you can do. You know, just being like kind of ready, you know, going for walks, going jogging, you know, do some jumping things every now and then. You know, you never know if you're going to have to jump over a wall or something. Fuck, I couldn't tell you how many fucking fences I've had to jump. Adrenaline dump is no joke in a serious situation. No, and you people plan shit all the time, but I'm telling you, man, when fucking shit hits the fan, when your adrenaline dumps, you're a lot of people freeze, some people panic, some people run. You're gonna 100% your hands are almost going to feel like they don't exist. Like it's like the blood goes away from them, and it's almost like it's kind of like if you ever been into a fist fight, and you feel like you're punching so fast that it's almost too fast, and you're it almost like you don't even have strength. You're going too fast. It's just adrenaline, right? Rather than you being accurate and consistent and hitting, you know, was it efficiently, right? Because what is it? Speed over strength and precision over speed, right? But so if you can have it where you're precise rather than being so fast, you're going to be a lot better off. But what's the craziest shit you ever seen? I don't know. I've seen a lot of crazy shit. What would be the craziest thing? I don't know, man. I've seen a lot, man. It just depends on what your definition of crazy is. I've had to save people in the middle of intersections doing CPR. I've seen people killed. I've seen people stabbed. I've seen lots of shootings. I one time was on a job site, and I've told this story a couple times. I was on the job site one time. We were working on a wall, and the drive-by happened, and two wound up getting killed next to us. We didn't even know, though, so I guess that doesn't really count. We knew afterwards because we were surrounded by cops, but I mean during the thing, because you're using nail guns and shit. There's so much noise when you're on a wall. We were doing sighting, so we were like on a wall. There's so much noise right there. There's so many shots from nail guns and stuff. You ain't listening to what's happening, you know, 2 stories down. Anyways, but no, I don't know what the craziest thing I've seen was. I've seen a lot of crazy, so. Like I said, just depends on. I can tell you like the scaredest I've been. I can tell you that shit. You know, like I said, like doing CPR on somebody, especially if you love them and they're like you're close to them, whether they're friend or family or whatever, and you know, and you've already had people die in your arms, right? And now you're having another situation where you're fucking dealing with it again. That is a scary situation. And you know, depending on the person, you know, like yeah, anyways, so that's pretty nerve-wracking, but getting a knife pulled on you obviously is fucking scary. Getting a gun put to your head is obviously fucking terrifying. But yeah, it just depends on the situation too, because sometimes it's not, you know, because like you just kind of know, like this guy doesn't want any fucking trouble. He just, you know, wants to rob you. But yeah, you never know somebody's intentions. So so let me just talk about this fragrance really quick because it's going to be super fast. I have actually 2. The other day I was at the gym. And I was wearing this fragrance, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. And the reason why I was wearing this one is because I say that this is one of the best gym fragrances. There's 3 fragrances that I recommend for the gym, for offices and things like that. They all smell pretty much the same. And it's just a fresh citrusy, clean smelling fragrance. It literally smells like fresh linen and fresh out of the shower gel type of cleanliness. So when you put it on, you literally just smell fresh and clean. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So when you spray it on and you're sweating during the day, instead of you smelling fucking BO, you smell like fresh linen. And I was wearing this at the gym and a guy literally stopped me in the middle of my workout. Says, "What are you wearing?" And I told him, and he was like, and he wanted to know it like for sure. He wanted to buy it. So he was literally like, he made me say it like 4 or 5 times. You know, like you could see he was like writing it down in his brain. I could tell he was going to go get it. So it's like, fuck yeah. I wish I would have had the bottle. I would have just gave it to him. But shit's fire because I have 2 other bottles, not of the same stuff, but of like, they're so similar. The other one I want to talk to you about is Alexandria Bazooka. And I'm actually going to pull up the thing for this one. Alexandria Bazooka. And Alexandria Bazooka is another Alexandria fragrance. This one is pretty wicked. I freaking love this. I can't say how long it actually lasts, but when you first spray it, you just get a big blast of pepper. And I know it doesn't sound like appealing, but you get like a citrusy, peppery smell right off the bat. So it's like pink pepper and lemon. Then over like 3 minutes to 5, maybe even like 10 minutes, it starts sweetening up and turns into a tobacco fragrance. The tobacco you don't get right at first, but over like 10-15 minutes, it all of a sudden turns into like a sweet, lightly peppery tobacco fragrance. But the pepper, the I think, I don't know if it's black pepper or what type of pepper, but it dies down and it balances out really, really good with the leather and the tobacco. Fucking beautiful, man. Absolute awesome fragrance. If you guys want to get it, just let me know and I'll drop a link. But it's pretty dope. Pretty dope. These full bottles, the big ass bottles, go for like $40 or something like that, 30-40 bucks, but you can get the little tiny samples for just a few bucks. That's what I got, was a sample. I'm probably gonna buy the big bottle. It is damn good. I was brushing my teeth one morning in the desert and a sea ram blows up a mortar fuse about 20 feet over my head. Makes for a great alarm clock. Fuck yeah, it does. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. You want the intense version. It just lasts longer. The other version won't last as long. So you want this one. And this one lasts a good long time. It's fantastic fragrance. Now, there's two other fragrances that smell almost identical. Versace Pour Homme is one of them. So, like, if you get that, and you can get that probably for like 30, 40 bucks. This will probably be a little bit more than that one. I don't know what this one costs right now, but there's also Michonne Wave. Those three fragrances are almost identical. And yeah, they're like literally almost identical. But this one is very well known in the men's fragrance community. Men freaking love it. Women love it on men. Like, it's like that. So it is, even though while I say it's a good fragrance for the office, it's a good fragrance for the gym, it's also mass appealing. Like, and nobody's gonna hate it. You can't hate this because it just smells fresh and clean. So how could you hate that? Like, nobody would smell that and be like, oh, he's wearing cologne. Nobody would say that. Like, that's the way this is. It can't be like that because it's just fresh and clean. Who the fuck bitches about somebody being fresh and clean? We had a missile. Whoa. We had a missile pickled into our candy store. Explosive inspection bay in the Gulf. In the Gulf One, people ran so fast. I would imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine war, man. War is definitely another level, and I've never experienced war, so I can't speak on it. But you know, just through some of the things I've been through, like, I can think, you know, like, I can just picture, you know, and sympathize and kind of understand. Another thing, I did construction my whole life, and it's amazing what construction will do to you, because let me explain like some of the days growing up in construction. There were days I didn't think I'd live to see the end of the day. Like, literally, hands bleeding, shoulders bleeding, having to carry fucking lumber all day, 100 degrees out. It's wet, it's muddy, your fucking skin's peeling, like, and you literally just, you're so exhausted. Like, you're like, it's only 11 o'clock. How in the fuck am I making it till 5 or 6? And then 5 or 6 rolls around and you still got, like, you ain't even fucking done yet. Like, you're gonna be working like 8 or 9. Not on the job, but you gotta go take the trucks back, you gotta unload them and all this shit. By the time you get home, like, it's like your body just like collapses, and you pass out so fast. You don't even get the time to get in the shower. You literally go home, pass out, and next thing you know, you're waking up and you have to do right back over again. And, you know, doing that for weeks on, and, you know, man, it's like, and times when, like, you're humping lumber and you have other men around you doing the same thing. So it's not that there's a competition, but when other men are very tough and they're around you, it puts you in a place to where you have to be somewhat competitive. And it makes you tougher, and I think it's a good thing. But that makes it also where you'll push the limits sometimes past where it needs to be, and you're trying to prove yourself, or you're just trying to keep up, or you don't want to be the weak one, or you want to be the weak link, things like that. So it winds up becoming a thing where it's like, you know, you don't give up and you keep going, you don't want to be the bitch, you don't want to stop. And when you're really pushing the limits like that, and you have guys relying on you, and you're relying on guys, you know, and you see, you know, your partner over there fucking, you know, looking like he just wants to die, yet he's still standing there next to you, fucking finishing this job, you know, that definitely grows a brotherhood for sure. And yeah, like I said, I'm not saying it's like war, but I'm just saying, like, it's definitely a tough fucking thing. I've done a lot of roofing. Roofing in Texas, 145 pounds, packets of shingles up ladders, permanent bruises and shoulder calluses. Yeah, I've done it, man. I know. It's no joke. Yeah, I can name a lot of jobs. I mean, concrete is a motherfucker. Certain types of landscaping, like not like mowing lawns, but like when you're like digging ponds and doing rock walls and things like that, like doing a fucking big boulder rock wall, that's a motherfucker. Bricklaying, done tons of that. Even carpentry, like building houses, you know, there's tons of lumber. You got to get up in the air, very high heights. You know, with tools, with your tool belt that's fucking 30 pounds weighing you down all day long, never fucking stop it. When you take it off, you have a crease all the way around you, and sometimes it's bleeding, like just because you've had it on all day, and it kind of sags down. You keep lifting it, but it eventually wears your skin out. He shouldn't have tried to screw a snake. Huh. Putting liners down for homemade pond sucks. Yeah, and you know what? That's why, like with men doing, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're a garbage man, if you're a mailman, if you fix computers or whatever. Like I'm a strong advocate for just working men, because our society runs because of strong men. And that's why it's important for strong men to exist, because we don't have a society without us. We really, truly don't. And it's something that we're blessed to have. We could, we could be even more blessed, but we're blessed to have the workers we have out there right now that are willing to sacrifice their days, that are willing to do the hard jobs, man. Do the hard fucking jobs, because not everybody wants to do it. Not everybody's willing to do it. But the guys that do have that grit to do that, regardless of what it is, it's an amazing thing. And I'm very thankful for those guys, because I've been there too, so since I've been there, like, you kind of, you I don't want to say sympathy or empathy, but it's like you just know what it's like. So, and sometimes, like when I watch some of the videos, like where it's showing like just exhausted hardworking men fucking pushing it, and and they're only going harder, and like the words in the thing are just inspiring and making you work harder and harder. That shit'll bring a tear to my eye, because fucking, like I said, when when you've been on that type of battlefield, yeah, it'll get you when you start thinking about it, from different perspectives, kind of like that Jordan Peterson thing, when he was saying, about the men, you know, giving their lives in many cases to keep society going. Did roofing summer in Florida. Done concrete work on boots in, was that Arkansas? Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it's good for men to know construction, even if you don't get into construction. I think it's good for you just to do it, just a little bit. I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's, I think it's very good for, I know not every man can just go do that, right? Not every man can just go and do construction. You don't know nobody, you don't know any companies. So I get that. But just knowing hard work in general. I don't care if you're just outside cutting your own grass, mulching your own shit, cutting your own beds in, whatever. It doesn't matter, but just knowing real hard work, I think it's so beneficial to you, and it makes it to where good jobs, you appreciate them. You appreciate the easy jobs. You appreciate the jobs where you can get paid to do something like what I'm doing right now, man. I am so fucking grateful doing this. Like, you have no idea how grateful I am, because all I ever wanted to do was to get out of construction. And the last time I got out of it, I said, I'm not going back. I'm not going back, because I felt like I was gonna die. I literally felt like this is gonna be the end of my life one day. The last job I had, the fucking boss almost killed me like 3 times in 2 weeks because he was going senile. And I actually at that time wasn't going back, and I had to go back because I was a felon trying to get a fucking job, and nobody would give me a fucking job. And so I finally found a place to give me a job, but so happened to be back in construction. And that's where, of course, they're going to give you a fucking job. So, that's just the way it is. So I had no problem getting a job in construction. I was trying to get a job somewhere else, and I had to go back to construction in order to survive. And, but that's when I started the channel, was literally at the end of that. So I wound up going and getting another job, um, at the distillery, and I worked there until I wound up doing this full time. But I'm very, very fucking blessed to be away from that shit, man. Like that in that place, man, I almost lost both my fingers, and like in like a 3-month period, I had so much shit happen to me, and it was just because this fucking place was insane, man. It was so crazy. I bet your toenails are messed up from wearing work boots for years. Yeah, I mean, I got some feet on me for sure. um, my family's feet is like that though, because I come from a long lineage of fucking hard working construction motherfuckers. So my grandpa was a bricklayer. My dad, full construction, wound up getting paralyzed doing construction. My uncles all do construction. All my cousins fucking do construction. Um, I don't know what my great grandpa did, but he was probably in construction. So, I got a long line of it. Fucking warriors. Jared, what were you going to talk about that I sent you? Maybe I already did. I already showed it. I was showing that video you sent me of the fidget toy. My ex-hubs was a fighter pilot. Whoa, the whole time we was together. So I was exposed to a bunch of stuff through him and always found it super cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Just curious, do you have any experience with the Thai Kubi Atlas? Love my titanium Titius. Let me look it up really quick. Oh yeah. I got a video on it, I believe. Let me just make sure I'm thinking of the right one. Yeah, I got a video on it. I don't know what it's called or anything, but yeah, it's a good knife. Super solid knife. It's actually a pretty badass knife. Hey, no cussing on YouTube. But yeah, if you rewind Bones, it's not too far back. Thanks for sharing a bunch of your awesome fanatics. Follow my startup if any don't mind. I'll have interviews and war stories as well. Y'all kick ass. Thanks, Jared, for speaking beginning. No problem, brother. Thank you, Bomber. Uh, have you reviewed the Kaiser Miltot? Yes. I haven't reviewed it, but I did a first impressions on it. It's fucking awesome. I like the Milita. It's very good. You can go watch my first impressions. I actually have 2 videos on it, I think. But yeah, check it out. That's a good one for sure. Surprisingly good. Like that thing's action is just insane, man. I shouldn't been out 30 minutes ago though. I gotta hit the hay. Nice chatting with all. All right, brother. Take it easy, Seth. Yeah, we're about to get out of here right now. It's about the end of the show. Let me see if I have anything else I wanted to. Oh, I was gonna do story time, but we already kind of did a little bit of story, so we'll save this story for next time. Um, yeah. I do. Let me show you guys. I already did that. So, yeah. Don't forget, guys. I do have. How late am I? You're at the end, brother. You're at the end. So I appreciate you joining. You can rewind. Hey, see that? Fiend found the damn video. I couldn't have even found the damn video. That's what's up. Which company do you think is killing it the most so far this year? Right, I think we is. I absolutely think We Knife Co is. Um, yeah. As far as new knives and everything, I mean, Reate is right there too. But man, I'm telling you, we fucking came out swinging this year. Like at Blade Show, Atlanta, Reate. I love Reate. Remember that? Like Reate is one of my faves. But they didn't have hardly shit. They had like 3 or 4 designs, maybe 5 designs. We had like 27. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, it was like, whoa. I even said something to Seth. I said, how in the fuck are you guys going to do all these? And he was like, I don't know. He's like, that's what I thought too. I was like, man, you guys have entirely way too many knives this year. And not all of them, but a lot of them were bangers, like fucking shit bangers. So, it's like, obviously, if you do 27, I don't even know how many it actually was, but let's say it's 25 or 20. If you're doing 20 knives, all of them ain't going to be the best, and not, or the person observing is not going to like all of them, but the majority of them were really damn good. I really, really want the Wii Nefarious. It'll be my first Wii. Get the Nefarious. I'm telling you, Aaron, get it. Pre-order that motherfucker now. 16th is when it's dropping. It was supposed to drop tomorrow. I was supposed to have a video up tomorrow, but it's going to be on the 16th. Still cool. It's still coming soon. It's just in transit. The companies didn't get them on time. So definitely, man, that's one. And I'll be honest, Aaron, if you're really going to get one, you should pick it out now. You should definitely pick it out now. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I have a feeling, I think I could be wrong, but I think they're limited edition, and they do come with the cards. But I'm not sure. I could double check, but if they're limited, they're going to sell quick, and the model you want might sell. So I'm just saying, you know, check it out. Viper Rhino with Blade Rock out of the box. What would I do with Blade Rock? I would strengthen my lock bar. I would take it apart and I would take my lock bar and I would increase the lock strength so that it stops having Blade Rock. That's what I would do. I have the Nefarious pre-order. You're a smart person. You're a smart person. Is Microtech doing a production amphibian? I thought so. I thought they already did. I thought there was a production one. Am I wrong? I thought there was. Gonna get Lacey to mirror that bitch when I get some loot. All right, guys, I'm gonna take off. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and shooting this shit. Was there something I wanted to say before we go? I have them right here. I should have showed them. I haven't showed them on the channel yet, but Megaron just dropped some mini versions of the Valona, and it's not like a small knife. You know, it's like it's still kind of a full size knife, but it's a smaller version of the Valona. So they have the small, the medium, and the large now, which is kind of cool. So we'll be checking that out very soon. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace. Love you guys. Don't forget, use my damn links when you guys buy knives. Peace.